Hi guys, welcome back. CompTIA Security Plus Domain 6 Cryptography and PKI. In this video, we're going to see Understanding PKI Concept Practice Lab. Lab requirements. What I'm using is a Windows Server 2016 Domain Control, Windows Server 2016 Domain Member Server, Windows 10 Workstation. Task for the lab. So we will see two tasks in this video: how to install configure Active Directory certificate services, and then how to configure certificate revocation lists. First we will see task 1, install and configure Active Directory certificate services. So we are performing these steps on domain control server. Okay, first on the server manager. So just click the manage, add rules and feature. So here just click next. So here is a default setting. Okay, so on the destinations is a default settings. Next. So here just click the first, select server role. So you have to click the Active Directory certificate services. I'm going to click add feature. Okay, so we are now back to the add rule and features wizard. So here you notice here the Active Directory feature is ticked already. So just click next, continue. So this is a default settings. Click next. So you can read through the information about the Active Directory certification services. Okay, so yeah, just click next. So here you can just verify the certification authority is enabled, mean that it's already ticked. So and then select the online responder, add feature. So just make sure the two features should enable the rule services. Okay, so just click next. So here, so just proceed next. So just proceed next, install. So you can see the notification here. So the feature is now installing. So once it's completed, so you will see successful message. So here this installation succeed, right? So we have now successfully completed the first task. We are now going to see how to configure Active Directory certificate services. So after a brief installation of Active Directory certification services and online responder on domain control, you must set up these services with the appropriate settings. This will enable the service perform its intended role. Okay. So on the same server manager, the domain control. So click the notifications and then link. So here you can see there is a message, right? Configure Active Directory certificate services. So just click this. So here just make sure the system has detected you are currently signed in the credential, login credential. So just proceed next, and then so here I'm going to select the first one and then the online responder. Okay, so now just next button. So it's the default settings, enterprise CA. click next button. Okay, now the root is the default settings. Okay, so now on the private key, so this is a default settings. Verify this, create your new private key is selected. So just click next. Here, so the cryptographic, so I'm going to leave that say default cryptographic algorithm. I don't change anything. So the CNM, so it's the default settings, I don't change anything. Okay, so this is validation period. So if you guys want to modify anything, so you can just modify. So I'm going to leave this default. Okay, so here the CA database is the default settings. Next, and then confirm page, just go through the summary, so everything is correct. So I'm just going to click configure. So it's done. So now just close it. So now you can see the two process, the features, the configuration is completed successfully, and then installation success. So there's a notification. So now we go to the certification authority. For that, tools, on the server manager, go to tools. So click the certificate authority. So we will now verify that ADCS is working. Okay, so you can verify the certification authority snap in works by expanding. You just expand this, and then so the green tick marks indicates that the service has successfully started. Okay, so we have now successfully completed the second task. We are now going to say install subordinate CA. So in this task we will install the subordinate CA of domain, the practice lab domain, on a domain member server. Okay, so now we switch back to the domain member server. This is a domain control. So this is a domain member server. So we are doing the same steps what we did on the domain control server. So we are doing same steps on the domain member server. Okay, so here go to manage on the server manager, click add rules on feature. So here click next. So as the default settings, next. Okay, so here click the Active Directory certificate. Okay, add feature. So you guys can see here. You guys can see here. So here it's a default setting. So next. So it's all about the Active Directory certificate service introductory text. So next, click next. So I'm going to select the online responder, what I did on the domain control server. Okay, just next. Okay, so just click next. Okay, so here click install. So the installation is started. So let's wait for some time. So you can also close it, and then you can watch the notification. You can also see the notification here. Okay, so we have now successfully completed this third task. So the fourth steps we are going to do, configure subordinate CA. So after a brief installation of Active Directory certificate services and online responder, you must set up this certificate services on domain member server to assume the role of a subordinate CA to domain control. Okay, so the installation is succeed. So now click the add roles. So configure Active Directory. So the same credential, right? So you don't need to change anything. Just click next. So here just select the two roles, certificate authorities and online responder. So what you did, the same process we are doing on domain member server. So here the enterprise, verify the enterprise CA is selected. So and then CA subordinate. So ensure last time now is a subordinate. So it's a default settings. So here just leave it as a default settings. Create a new private key so that we can change the key length here 1024. Okay, I'm going to change here and then click next, and then CA name, next. So here you can just click this send a certificate request to a parent, so CA, and then here okay, now click select and then click OK. So now next, so configure, click configure. So it's successfully done. So go to the server manager, so click the notifications. Sometime if you get any red indicator, so just click the refresh button, so it will disappear. Okay, so this is a workstation. So here, so I'm going to open this console using the mmc command. So here, file, add and remove snap-in, and then certificate, click add. Okay, so now we can see the certificate current users added successfully, so just click OK. So now the console, you can just expand this. So now you can expand the personal, go to the personal, and then right click. So here here you can just right click, all task, then request new certificate. Here just click next. So here, so no need to change, just next. So here you can click a user checkbox, right, and then details, So you guys can now see the information, the details. Okay, so because this is additional information, so just click the properties. You can now click the certificate authority. So here clear the domain control. You just leave it only the member server. Don't need the domain control. So you need the member server only. Okay. And then apply. Then okay. Then you just click enroll. Finish. You can now see the certificate, right, is added. So in the user profile, so what we currently logged in, you can now see here Jen records, right? So this is what added here, the same user profile. Okay, so now the user certificate has now been issued to Jan records. So you guys can see. Okay, so now we have successfully completed the first steps. The second, verify issued certificate. Remember that during the certificate enrollment, you configured Windows 10 computer to enroll with a domain member server. You remember I cleared the domain controls. I only leave it the domain member server, right? So in this step, we will verify the certificate issued to Jan Regos. For that, you can just close it and go to the domain member server. Okay, just leave it, just open and then save. Yeah. Okay, go back to the domain member server. So this is a domain member server. So here, go to tools, certificate authority. Okay, so here just expand this domain and then you can now click the issued certificate. So in the issued certificate, so you guys can view that. Let me expand. Yeah. So now you guys can see, right, the Jan Regos dot Regos. So now just right click all task and then revoke. So revoke certificate. So the certificate revocation, select a key. Okay, the key compromised. We need to select the recent code. It's a key compromise. So then I just leave it as default. So please note that if recent code for certificate revocation is certificate hold, it can be unrevoked by the administrator. So I change that key compromise. Now click yes. Okay. So the Jan Raghu certificate disappeared from the issued certificate folder. So we can click the revoked certificate folder here. So you guys can see here now is displayed the revoked certificate of user John Ricos. So now you guys can see under the revoke certificate folder. So next, to publish the revoke certificate to other CA server, for that just right click on the revoke certificate and then alt task publish. Okay, so now in the page in the publish CRL, so we can just verify the new CRL selected and then click OK, and then so again just right click properties, so and then CRL tab. So here, so just leave it as defaults. If you guys want to modify anything, it's up to you, depends on your organization need. So here you can just click view CRL. It just display publication status of CRL. Okay, so that's it. We have now successfully completed the task 2, verify issued certificate. Now we are going to see configure a new path for CRLs. To configure a new path for CRLs, so on the domain member server, here on the certificate authorities and the domain member server, so just right click properties, okay, under the extension, so I need to click the extensions. So there you have to add, so here we need to add the location of the domain control. So I am sharing on the domain control. So here variable, just click insert and then click OK. Okay, so now click apply. Yes, so we have now, okay, click OK, completed. We have now completed the third task. We are now going to see how to add certificate manager. So on the same domain member server, from the certificate manager, click the here in the certificate manager. So what we're going to do, select the restrict certificate manager radio button, right? By selecting these options, you will be restricting aspect of AD certificate service administrated to domain admins and enterprise admin groups in the domain. Okay, then apply. Okay, so that's it, guys. We have now successfully completed all the 4 steps. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lab. Okay, please subscribe my channel if you haven't. Press the bell button to get more update. Please share the video to our friends, guys. See you. Bye bye. Have a good day.